Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's do some drawing. So let's go down to back to the basics. There's a little character I wanted to draw again, and it's Dawn. And yeah, I just thought today I'm going to take my time. Not going to rush or worry. So get yourself some nice cuppa. Maybe pause if you need to. Come and join me as we draw some creepy, weird stuff. I hope you're all really well, and whatever's going on in your little world, don't worry about it for a little bit. Have a little bit of an escape, shall we? Alright. Okay. I'll do a little bit more alienish today. A little bit different. Nice. And really take our time. Get these lines just right. Get the details that we like. Lots of little hidden ones. Cool. There we go. And I've got a little bit of a plan today, but to be honest, I quite like just making up as we go along. So we've got the shape. And this is something I always try to do, just give myself that outline. Give out that little box. But, if I venture out of it, that's okay. It feels right at the time, I think that makes sense. There we go. I was thinking about doing some shading as well, but we'll see how we do for time, because if I'm drawing very slowly, it might be a bit of a expedition of a video, but we'll see. We'll see how we do, and if we want to do that, we will. Yeah, that's fine so far. Nice. Very cool. And usually I'll draw a little bit of an image, and then it's not quite like I get bored, but I get fascinated by other little bits and I want to jump, and then if I jump away from this bit and go somewhere else, then I won't want to come back to here. So what we're going to try and do is a little bit different today and just stick with the section I'm doing. Get it done right, and then move on once I've completed it. Sounds really weird, doesn't it? But yeah, sometimes a little bit sporadic drawing. But today, I feel quite grounded, which is nice, because lately, last few weeks, I haven't felt that grounded. Maybe it was the Guinness last night that helped. Could well be, couldn't it? Mm-hmm. Very cool. Nice. Strange, sometimes I do a drawing, I imagine exactly what it's going to look like, and I can picture it in my head, but then when I actually start doing it, it's almost like my style changes ever so slightly, just to kind of match how I'm feeling. So apparently, I feel like an alien sort of character eating a strange isopod-like monster. Oh, that's something to reflect upon, isn't it? Or maybe not. Ugh. Cool. I'm not going to overthink the little sections either. I think sometimes I overthink too much. Not just in drawing, but in general. So maybe today will be not so much overthinking, but underthinking. Yeah, let's underthink some stuff today. I think that'll be good. And also, went to a little garden centre earlier and got a really nice new mug. So maybe that's what's giving me a sense of grounding. Every now and again, you just need a nice new mug. There we go. Secret to contentment. Nice mugs. Right, and we're going to do a little bit more sci-fi, biomechanical styling on this one. Even though normally with these sorts of characters from the board game tends to be more, trying to think, it's probably more like Souls-like, isn't it? But if you don't know what I mean by that, it's a series of games, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, that sort of stuff. Good creepy stuff. And eventually, actually, one of the Patreons had a fantastic idea about doing something for of Elden Ring sort of character, so we will have to do that because that's a great idea, and thank you so much for the suggestion. Kind of matches quite nice. It's definitely on brand, I think. Alright, there we go. Oh, do you ever get that when you have to draw a nose or something from a strange angle? You're like, where do I put my hand? Where does it live? Oh, that's not too bad. There we go. I don't know if you can hear the storm outside. It's not really a storm, it's just really windy, but it's quite nice. I quite like it. It's nice hearing the storm outside and knowing that you're all cozy and warm on the inside of the house. Right, let's go back. I'm running away from this section here because it's quite a big, vast bit of empty space, and anyone that's watched the videos before, you know that I'm not a big fan of that, that negative space. I like to fill in all the voids. Analyze that all you wish. There's lots to unpack. Cool. That's going alright. It's very alienish. I don't think that's a bad thing to do. And another thing, maybe this is just my own little ramblings. Hope you're all being kind to yourselves. No. And that's just where I'm at today. Be kind. Right, okay, that's fine. I don't know what that bit is there, but we'll just kind of riff with it. Oh, I think this is the start of her hair. Okay, so we'll do that. It's sort of like a braid-ish like thing. Or just sort of opening up. Because we got a lot of sort of this mechanical bug-like stuff, but let's bring it a bit more organic and a little bit more chaotic here. A little bit of controlled chaos. There we go, cool. Cool. That lined up nicely, actually. I was lucky about that. Look at that. Little things, eh? Okay. Let's wrap around here. I don't really know what the plan is, the back of it. I don't want all this open space. I don't know what to do. Maybe you know what? I'll be a little cheeky here. I'm going to close this off. So it's like an open helmet, because what I really want to start doing is the hair. And I want to enjoy that bit, so I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and just get rid of that bit. We don't need that bit. There we go. Very cool. Yeah. Also, been talking a lot of people doing their own art and, you know, trying to be creative and hitting these walls, these blocks. You know, I always have a sort of a feeling with that sort of stuff, where people think, you know, my art's not good enough, or, you know, I'm not a good enough artist or a creative person. You are. Everything that you ever draw or make is entirely your own. No one else will ever make it exactly the same as you. It doesn't matter if you're drawing from imagination or using something as a template or an idea, or in any way, shape, or form. Everything you do is entirely yours. I think that's kind of cool. You should be proud that you've made something that never been made before, even if it's photorealistic sort of. I'm not going to say copy. I don't like that, but exactly the same as something else. It's not. It's totally you. Yeah, I think so anyway. So if you're ever sort of worried about that sense of not being amazing or perfect, it's not really perfect. You made that. Anyway, I digress. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, we haven't forgotten what we were rambling about for a while. Oh, the old me is definitely back. Complete rambling nonsense. Very cool. Do another little flick of hair there. I like the messiness. You know, sort of going against the grain. And yeah, we'll do a few more little strands here. I think shading would be nice, but we'll see. You know, I don't ever think it's a bad thing to sort of shade and give more depth, but I do like my line art more than anything. I think that's where I feel most comfortable, is doing line art. I was asked the other day if I do any other type of art other than, you know, that sort of digital character stuff and maybe like a little bit of world building, inking, stuff like that. I do. I do a little bit of clay, and I do very rarely a little bit of painting, but should be noted, but I am absolutely crap at painting, but it's not the result, is it? It's not the destination, it's the journey. Thank you, Lord of the Rings. Right, cool. Very cool. That's going all right. That's really, it's kind of weird. I quite like that. Right, let's start working here. So the helmet is almost going to just continue. And I want a sense of not knowing where the character begins and the sort of mechanical armor and tubes and all those things sort of ends. I think I nearly said that right. Hey, very cool. And continue this plait down here a bit more. I was going to mess it up by, not mess it up, but I was going to make it a bit more messy, but it's quite nice having a bit more sort of linear there. And then we'll do another little pipe. But I want it to almost look like, almost organic. Almost like bone. So I really want that mix today. Nice. What can we do? Do a bit more here. And then we'll break away a little bit. Break just a little bit away. And do like some sort of mechanical sensor. Because in the game, which is still being worked on very slowly in the background, the idea of changing carapaces, the helmets and sort of stuff, it's important to sort of mix and match. So there's some that will give you more protection in the world. There are some that will give you more sensory abilities, as well as aid in discovery and compass mentis and all these little stats as well that get affected, which are really important. So if we bring that down, and then we'll have another sort of tube here. Nice. I got the hiccups really bad. Oop. Right. Lovely. Okay, we are rolling. I mean, not particularly quick, granted, but we're definitely going down the hill. Maybe like a slightly slower pace, but it's okay. A bit more of a safe pace. Cool. Okie dokie. Oh, this is cool. Kind of worked nice with that little gap there. Sort of had the hair come through almost like it was a part of it. So we can keep sort of intertwining like that. Yeah. Continuity. Very important. Cool. And we got like a little bit of a strange leather strap here. Bring the hair together. Kind of fantasy-ish. Why did I struggle with that word so much? Fantasy-ish. Because it's not a word. Cool. I'll just give a bit more organic to the character as well. Like so. I'll just do a little something there just to break up the squareness of a non-square. Good description, dude. The squareness of a non-square. Oh, what a word wizard. Right, and then we'll continue this little bit from there. And then what we want to do is sort of find a natural, hopefully natural, conclusion to it. So we'll think of something there. And again, I'm going to just add a bit more of this hair. It's just being wild and escaping mechanical stuff. Yeah, it's looking alright so far. And 20 minutes, I think. I'll get this done. About 30 more minutes, I reckon. So yeah, it might be time to get another cup of tea for yourself. And biscuits. I've got a whole pack of biscuits right in front of me, and I keep looking at them. They're looking at me. But I will have some coffee, actually. Cheers. Lukewarm. Fantastic. Might have to start using the little thermos, the little travel mug when I draw, because every single time I go to draw, I just get a little bit lost in it. Forget about the world outside. And just enjoy the little world I'm creating here. Yeah. A little bit of an escape. Oh. Oh, it's hailing? Oh, the weatherman was wrong. Meant to be a nice sunny day today. No chance of rain. Well, I suppose that's true, actually. It's hailing, not raining. No, well played. Oh, I wonder if you can hear that really well outside. This is nice. Oh, okay. This is as loud as I go, so I'm gonna have to compete with the hail outside a little bit. So here, I had the idea of lots of charms. Wow. Okay, weather, you need to chill out. In fact, let's pause it there because I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear me. Oh, wow. Right, let's pause it there for a little bit. So the storm has no intention of chilling out. So you know what? We'll be okay. You do you, Storm. We'll do us. So yeah, I was thinking of lots of little charms and whatnot, because originally this character was holding this giant charm like effigy, and we've talked about effigies a lot in the past with the game and how they affect your character and change your abilities and things like that. But I know, I didn't really want it when I was drawing it, and I thought, no, you know what would be better? Sort of like some sort of show about a character eating something, keeping themselves safe. And another thing I figured out, it sounds really weird, but I've always drawn the feathers, you know, the usual sort of comic book way. Just chill, Storm. It's alright. It's okay. But I was drawing sort of, I think it was like sort of like a spine-like thing, and I thought, well, that actually looks really similar to feather, so I think the feathers now in this world will look ever so slightly different and be more like hardened and less aerodynamic, but I suppose that's sort of mirroring the harsh of the world in the game itself. So yeah, when I was doing it, I thought, that's really cool. So it's funny, I've been drawing this character specifically for years, and just a little happy mistake through repetition discovered a new sort of idea. Though saying that, probably ever think about it and then realize I had this idea about 5 years ago, but we won't admit that if that's the case. I think that's the grown-up thing to do. Right. There we go. How's that looking? Not too bad at all. Right, what's this bit here? What is this bit? So we got, okay, what we'll do here is we're going to break this little tube thing up, because we need something a little bit different now. I don't want to get bored of what I'm doing, so I'm going to go off the cuff a little bit. I'm just going to make it up. Something like that. So almost organic, but not quite. And then wrap it around here. Like so. Nice. Just like that. There we go. Yeah, and then this little bit we can play with now, can't we? So we'll do another little bit here, but let's do something a little bit different. And it's almost like we were talking about before, sort of having this mixture of biological and mechanical. We'll have the hair coming out this bit. I think that's kind of cool, actually. Just, you're not really sure what's mechanical and what's her, or are they both one and the same? I don't know, because I'm making up as we go. I always think weather like this makes me want to have like a little cabin, a little fire, and just wait out the storm. Not essentially closing it off or anything like that, just stay in that safe space, you know. Cool, yeah, it's kind of like bug-like, isn't it? Oh, continuity by complete chance. Fantastic. Right, and then this is all the wraps of the character's garbs. I might need to do some shading because I think it needs it, doesn't it? What should be here? Could do a little bit more hair. I'm only doing extra hair, so I don't need to do more colouring. Colouring, not quite colouring, shading. There we go. I know words. I know all the words. Cool. Wow. Check that out, Storm. Okay, and then do one big one here. And then one here. Cool. Just like that. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Okay. We'll do a few of these little line bits because we like those little bits. Okay, that was meant to be shading. Whoops. Oh, that's fine, isn't it? We can just do over the top. Cool. We'll do another little pipe thing here. There's a little bit of space that just needed something. It's always nice to have that little repetition, little patterns. Right, cool. And then this bit now. Okay. Feels awkward to draw that hand for some reason. I mean, do we even need that hand? Yeah, we do. Okay, stop being lazy. And then we'll draw it ever so slightly smaller than what I've done. Because I think her fingers were a little bit big. So we'll just kind of make it up as we go and see how we do. And if we have a mistake, that's okay. We're not chasing perfection. Not that we ever chase perfection on this channel. That is definitely not the plan. Right, and then sort of, so it's got this shell We do a little crack here. There we go. So we want it kind of roughed up a little bit, and then the little bit of shell there, kind of like a big shellfish, isn't it? And then I don't want to draw the same sort of shape as the hair, so we could do almost like lobster. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Big shelled thing. I don't know. There we go, cool. Nice. Some little bits here. You're just having a good dinner. Cool. I'll do this little shaky thing we do. Do a little bit of a different texture. Almost stippling, isn't it? But not quite. There we go. Just like that. Just add a different texture to this thing. We want her to feel like she's wearing this otherworldly like garments and stuff, but she's not actually from this world. But this is. There we go, cool. Very cool. Cool, and we do a few little bits and pieces over here, just to break up the space a little bit. We want to kind of flow in back over here, just to give that sort of definition. Nothing over the top, just a little bit. A little bit of something else. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Lovely, right. Cool. And we'll have this continuity of the flesh, the meaty bits, sort of in between the gaps of the shell, like so. And then, where's the hand? Right. Don't draw over the hand. Don't do it. You'll regret it. Don't do it. Don't do it. My pen was work on its own then. Stop it. Naughty pen. Reminds me of that film. What's it called? Idle Hands. If anyone's seen it, give me a shout. It's a good one. Reminds me of when the pen in my hand seemed to, I don't know, I feel like sometimes this hand has intrusive thoughts and just wants to draw things that just make it really difficult for me. Just fighting back. What a loud pigeon. Cool. There we go. There we go. Cool. I'll do a little bump there. And this overlapping bit should wrap around. Okay, do the hands. Do the hands. Stop procrastinating. Okay. There we go. Oh, I got asked the other day, do I use references? No. No, I don't. Because if I did, I could get things wrong, couldn't I? Even though I just had a big spiel about not worrying about getting things wrong. No, I don't. I look at things and then I sort of try to memorize what I liked about them. And it can just be like shapes and things like that, but no, I don't have anything in front of me. And I very rarely actually plan out my drawings to the point of like really understanding or knowing exactly what I'm doing. I like the not knowing, you know. But that's just my preference. I try and imagine it, or I suppose when I imagine it, I have a sort of an idea, a sense of what it's going to look like, but really it's kind of is totally random sometimes, you know. I don't know. Yeah, it's not like I have the full image in my head of it ever. It's kind of like I have an idea of what it may look like, but I try not to get too stuck on that and just kind of like enjoy the happy little accidents that happen. Happy little accidents. Oh, hello, Mr. Bob Robs. Yeah, quite like that stuff. Yeah. And as I was drawing this bit of garb, I realised it didn't have. Oh, my hand's just there all the time. I realised I didn't have sort of that crazy, ripped, shredded, well used, well worn cloth, and I love that. I think it's such an interesting look. So this is what this little bit is, sort of to bring that back. And in hindsight, I should have kept to this sort of messier look, but I don't know. I was far away at that point, so just kind of making up for it now. Like so. And it was meant to be just sort of the hand, sort of like the wraps around the hand. But now I think I might bring it all the way down and see if we can venture here and sort of put it into this as well, because I really like the look of this. Again, didn't plan it, but it's nice. In fact, we might go all the way down. We'll be brave, not worry about spending too much time on it. We're just going to draw what we want, and that is that. Well said, mate. Thank you very much. Ridiculous. Okay. We're getting there, aren't we? I don't think it'd be much long. Hey, 37 minutes. Not bad at all. Right. We also still need to... Do we need a shade? I'm not convinced we do. I think and I hope that... No, do it. Come back here. I think and I hope there's enough about this image that the thumbnail will be able to be picked up on it. I really struggle with thumbnails for YouTube. Get it just right. But then again, the channel is still young. There's much to learn. Young grasshopper. Right. And if anyone's wondering today, I'm using a 005 micron. And it's not black, there's like light browny sort of colour. And it just has a nice feel drawing. Doesn't feel like as harsh and hard as like the full-on black colour. It just has sort of a nice tone to it. Sepia, I think? I don't know. This is kind of cool. I like this. This has taken a long time, but I think the payoff will be worth it. But we must make sure when we have all these little bits hanging down that we don't accidentally draw too much with it or near it, because then we'll have a bit of a competition between details. And when we get there, I'll explain it a little bit more. Maybe. I don't know. I'll probably forget in about 20 seconds what I was going to do. But if I do remember it, hey, well done, man. Right, and then have this little bit really coming down here, like so. Like that. And then the arm, we want here, like that. So yeah, we got a nice little bit. This feels a little bit too thin here on the upper bit of the forearm. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make do and let's add a few more little bits here just to help that out. so. Perfect. There we go. There we go. I'm not sure what to do about this. It's quite straight, isn't it? We'll have to figure something out with that, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet. Worry about it in 5 minutes. Then I'll be like, oh no, made a terrible mistake. We'll do it off the page as well, why not? There we go. Right, and then what we're going to do, we're going to try and sort of gradient this up. So ripped and torn to the max, and then as we're coming up, we'll sort of do less and less and less. So by the time we get to here, it would look like maybe even this was reworked at some point of the garb, or a second bit, or it could just be that actually. It could just simply be this. There's two different parts of this garb. And do a little bit of hair there as well. It's almost like it's coming down like that. I don't like that bit, but don't look at it. Like that. Do that a little bit. Cool. Cool. And then here, I don't really know the plan, if I'm honest. I was hoping I'd make it up as I go along, but clearly that hasn't worked. Oh no, I've drank all my coffee as well. Dire. Right, let's avoid for now. We'll come back to this. We'll have a little think. Let's do some cool, creepy isopod-like legs. There we go. Little shaky wakies all the way down here. 3 little dots, job done. See, no problem there at all. And then we'll do we'll make it up what sort of legs they have. This is kind of back on itself and like a little claw. And then lots of little shaky bits. Cool. Right, another little bit here. Lovely. And then let's start wrapping things around. We don't want it to look exactly the same, so we're going to throw it around the other way. That little thing about losing the sort of pattern, well, not so much losing the continuity, but having a little bit of all over the place. I think this is comic books, especially like Spawn and stuff, when you see like back in the 90s, I used to read these comics. Definitely shouldn't have. And they had all this, like the cape would flick one way and then flick the other one, and it would just be a mess, and it was wonderful. It was organized chaos at its best, I think. God, what the hell am I talking about? What was I talking about? I don't know. It's fine. Probably. Frallable. Probably. And then probably need another few little bits. So that's that bit. Do a little bit of rip and ruin there. A little bit here. And do in between the fingers. Makes sense to have the wraps actually being held by something where it's just floating. Oh, I thought that was the isopod. It's not. It's a finger. That's fine. Okay. Cool. Might need to rub out actually before we move on. What should I do here? So if we do the garbs, just as we were talking about, we'll leave a few little bits. And then as we're going further down, leave a few more holes. So that's where we can add all these rough bits. Like so. And eventually it will kind of look like we had a plan all along. professional. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Like that. And then down here, we don't really need to worry too much, but we're going to add a few more rips and ruins. Okay, cool. Right, we are just about done on sort of the details of it all. And then what we're going to do, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure about shading or anything like that. So what I might do is just do a little bit of rubbing out. And then I will see where we're going with this. I think shading might actually be really nice, but I haven't decided yet. I'll just add a few little details and just break up that negative space. Right, more legs, more legs. Yeah. Like so. Imagine this creature is somewhat like an amalgam of all sorts. So we have like ridged ones, kind of like what's it called, a grasshopper when they make the sound. Yeah, that's kind of cool actually. And then we just have like almost like a spike one. I don't think any isopod is exactly the same as any other. I love the idea of, yeah, it's all the same species, the same creature, but every single one is unique, almost like a fingerprint. I think that's kind of cool. Like that. And then, yeah. I didn't want to go too close to this because it would have mixed it up a little bit, and I don't want that sort of messiness. It's a very controlled drawing. It's only chaos by this point. Weird. Cool. It's fine. Cool. Here we're just gonna carry on. How far down should it be? About there, I think. Not too much. Like that. That's cool. We don't need it to be as ripped as the rest of it, just yeah, just a little bit. So it looks interesting enough without being too much going on, even though I probably am wrong saying that because there is a lot going on already, but that's okay. We will make do. And as I say that, I add more stuff. Righto. Hey, we're getting there. We're nearly at the end. Right, okay. And then do a few more little rags like this. Cool. What I might do there is pause momentarily and give a little bit of a rub out, then come back, and we'll see. We'll see if it needs some shading, or just a good bit of inking, or we'll leave it how it is. I'll be happy with it just like that. So yeah, it's yeah. You know what? I think our choice has been taken from us because I just had a little notification saying storage full. Right, with that, thank you everyone that comes and watches and enjoys our videos. Thank you so much to our patrons. Thank you everyone that comes and chats to us. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Also, thank you to everyone that's bought a book. We wrote a little book. And I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, you all take care. Be safe. I'll see you next time. Oh, whoops. Right, see you later. Bye.